So, to be honest, my thoughts on quicker play are pretty simple at its core. So I got here, I'll go over some base things really fast first. I actually don't mind the idea of having some fundamental changes being tried nowadays in this game. We have been playing this game for about 7 years now. Some change is always welcome. Just because it's not necessarily the best thing immediately doesn't mean that they won't try something that actually is a good idea. So I do think they should keep doing these, and I hope to see one of a 6v6, but I doubt they'll ever do that. So I would say that this idea at its core is actually a good idea. Now, I do think they did something a little dumb with this idea, and that is replacing normal quick play. I get why, okay, because they want more data, and if you put it in its own mode, a lot of people aren't going to play it, especially if there's no reward. However, in my opinion, if you just made a mode where you call it like, I don't know, call it like rapid play or something, I don't know, something, you call it something like that, right? And what you would do is it would just be its own mode, and you could give people like a Lucio skin or something, because this mode's all about everything being faster. You give them a skin, it's its own mode, people are going to play it, casual players are going to play it because they like skins, I'm going to play it because I like skins, and a lot of pros and stuff are just going to play it because there's content and they want to try it out anyway. So I just think that's what they should have done. I don't think replacing normal quick play was necessarily the way to go, because to be honest, there's a lot of people out there who simply do not play this game competitively, and it kind of sucks to play the normal Overwatch that I want to. I had to play competitive, and that sucks if you're not a competitive player. So hopefully, looking forward into the future, they'll take something like that where you'll get a reward instead. So hopefully, a lot more people still try it out than if it didn't have anything and it was just its own mode. But also, replacing default things in the game is always annoying, in my opinion. Okay, now moving on to the actual idea of this patch itself, which was speeding everything up. Now, to be honest, I am not a huge fan of speeding everything up, because to be honest with you, Overwatch is already a really, really fast game. But I will talk about the two positives that I have from this mode, from playing it. I mainly play open queue, so it's obviously for me in my head it's going to be thinking about a lot of open queue moments, but I did also play role queue, and I'll keep that in mind. But honestly, I think it's kind of the same, and I just think it doesn't work on a lot of modes, but one mode that it does work on, in my opinion, really well is push. Now, you might be like, well, why does it work really well on push? And to be honest, it doesn't even really work extremely well on push. I think push is just such a bad game mode that at least when it's faster, it gets done with quicker. Because push, it feels like it's always, like, it's never the longest games, I feel like, are never my push games. The longest games are always still like King of the Hill games or whatever, when it's just that overtime sometimes it goes extremely long. But push is so long sometimes, so I actually don't mind the bot moving slightly faster in push. I actually think that's fine. I don't like the respawn changes really still in push either, but you know what, if the bot's moving faster, it makes sense to respawn faster. But honestly, if they just made the bot move faster, I would like push significantly more and lowered the timer for the time you have in the game. That would be really nice, because I hate push, to be honest with you, a lot of the time. And I actually found it enjoyable when it was super sped up, because at least when you get like snowballed really hard in push, when you play push normally, you get snowballed sometimes, and it really sucks because it's a really slow mode, like I said, so you're just slowly but surely losing. Or if it's really bad, then you just get dog stomped, and it's like literally a 4-minute game and it's over immediately and you didn't even get like a single kill. But in this one, at least they just destroy you like 2 fights in a row and it's over, compared to it would have been like 4 fights or whatever in a normal game. So that's my first positive. That's the mode I do actually think it works all right in. So that being said, now time to dive into the only other positive experience I think you get from this mode. And this is, to be honest, I don't play much DPS, but from when I did play DPS on this mode, DPS was actually a lot of fun in this mode. Now, I think the reason it was a lot of fun was because I play a lot of the mobile DPSs and the flankers. I'm not a huge like hit scan or anything like that. So I think it really benefits those people specifically because now you respawn faster, obviously. So if you're on that flank and you die and kind of throw, it's not as bad. But I will say, I didn't play very much with hit scan, so maybe with hit scan it kind of sucks. But with the movement characters, I find it really fun actually because it just felt so casual, bro. It just felt like I was playing a chill ass game, which is nice because Overwatch doesn't usually feel like that. But the only problem is although yes, it feels good for that, I think it feels really bad for tank and support. I think both tank and support, this mode feels, these rules feel pretty bad. The tank, oh my god, when someone counter swaps you, it's absolutely miserable. When someone plays, so I play a lot of Reinhardt personally, so I'll just go with an example that I would know off the top of my head. And that first example I'm going to bring up is if you play as Reinhardt and the opponent selects Orisa in this fast quicker queue mode, you kill that Orisa, and normally that's super impressive and that's enough to at least win a fight, and win it for a bit. But in this mode, you kill that Orisa by some miracle and she's back literally like 10 to 15 seconds later. It's so frustrating because that Orisa is literally just worse than me, but she's able to win because her character is just better and she spawns fast enough to just oppress me to death essentially. So I'm not a fan of that. I also don't like how bad it feels if you're somebody without an insane amount of movement. I know most of the tanks have pretty good movement, but like Zarya, it does feel kind of bad because you're just kind of stuck walking slowly towards the point. I haven't played Roadhog, but maybe he did as well. But like with Reinhardt, once again, the more movement you have, this mode felt better. But then the other thing, supports also didn't feel very good in my opinion because everyone is constantly rushing to points. It like completely melted everyone's brains, so no one was working together at all, and people just rush the point over and over and over again to like try and stop it from counting down, and they'll just die like idiots when they should have just grouped up, even when you're spamming like group up and stuff. So that really sucks. And then also support, if you're not playing a mobile support, it is really tough in my opinion to keep up with the enemy team. And those are just my quick thoughts on some of the problems and some of the good parts. I'll list just a few more problems. They're going to be a little faster now though, just because I want to keep this about under 10 minutes. And so first of all, the first problem I'm going to go over is I really don't like how it feels on any map other than push, really. Like it just does not feel good. It feels too fast, and it just kind of, like I said, lowers the intelligence of the game, it feels, and makes it feel a lot less like a team-based game and more of just a brain rot Call of Duty shoot everything you see, which I'm not a fan of that. And then my other problem that I wanted to make sure I talked about with this is, to be honest, I just think quick play perfected just the time of a quick Overwatch match of like 10 minutes. That's really fine. 5 minutes is like too short because it feels like you make a single mistake and the game's just over. In quick play, in normal quick play, you make like 3 mistakes and you can learn from them and still come back that game essentially. But I want to say one more miscellaneous thing that I do think no one else is really mentioning before I leave it off. And that is, I do think this mode should stay around because it is so nice for challenges, dude. A lot of the challenges are absolutely miserable because you have to queue up for a full quick play game and you have to sweat for them. In this mode, you do not have to do that, and it is a very chill experience. And I really hope they keep it as a separate mode, hopefully, in the future. And that's about it. I'll see you guys later, and I can't wait to make more YouTube videos.